Lara Croft Go originally released for mobile took Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider series and put her into a puzzle turn-based adventure style of game, and it's now out on the PlayStation 4. But is this one tomb that's worth raiding, or is it worse than getting hit by a giant boulder? Lara Croft Go is just one of the Go series of puzzle-based games from Square Enix. These games all have the board game-like diorama feel to them, where you move your character spot by spot, and by moving, you activate other enemies and other traps in the levels, and your goal is, of course, to get your character from the beginning to the end of the stage. Lara Croft Go is broken up into 5 different chapters or temple areas with multiple levels in each. As you're exploring, new challenging puzzle elements and enemies will be thrown your way, and your goal, of course, is to use your brain to figure out the best path for Lara to take to get through the levels. There's also 2 extra bonus chapters added to the game as well, and these are best left for once you've completed the other 5 main chapters, as these are kind of little harder bonus stuff. The game starts off easy, and gradually that challenge will increase when you're introduced to snake enemies for the first time that will attack you if you stand in a space directly in front of them. But soon lizards will be thrown in the midst that are able to actually chase you down, and you'll have to outsmart. Spiders that move on a set path back and forth. Giant blades that you're going to have to work around, and even giant boulders to avoid. While solving each of the puzzles, you're also going to be looking around each of the areas for the game's collectibles, which are located in vases. Basically, you can move a cursor around and highlight the vase, in which case you will break the vase and find whatever object ends up being in there, whether it be one of the hidden gems that you can find, or pieces to a treasure statue. The game's controls are very simple, with you just moving the joystick to go from one spot to another with Lara, as well as you sometimes will find other items and weapons that you can use to help defeat certain enemies strategically, and you usually are holding down one of the face buttons and then picking the direction that you want to then use the object. Normally when attacking enemies, you have to attack them from either the sides or from behind when they're unable to see you, and you are able to then take them off the screen. My only real complaint with the game, and it's similar to how I felt about Hitman Go that was released on PS4 earlier this year, is that sometimes picking the direction that I want to go to and hitting the joystick in that direction sometimes ends up hitting the wrong direction. Unfortunately, you're unable to use the D-pad to move Lara around, and had you had that, I think the controls would have been just that little bit better, but for the most part, everything worked when I wanted to most of the time. When it comes to the length, completing the game's 5 main chapters and the bonus chapters will only take you a handful of hours, but that's going to of course also depend on your skill level and how quickly you're able to not only figure out how each of the levels work, puzzles and getting around enemies, but also if you're looking for those collectibles in each of the stages. From the technical side of things, everything ran fine. I didn't run any major glitching or crashing of any sort, and I also have to say I really love the soundtrack. It's a very relaxing soundtrack that goes along with the puzzle elements of the game, and it is quite beautiful to listen to. Lara Croft Go is available for $9.99 on the PlayStation 4. It does feature a full trophy list and a platinum, and it's a very easy to obtain platinum. You will have to find all the collectibles and a few other side objectives. For the most part, it's a very straightforward and pretty easy platinum to obtain. I really enjoyed the Hitman Go game, and I enjoyed Lara Croft Go playing in here, and I hope there are more Go games from Square Enix down the road, as I have a lot of fun with these games. They are mostly puzzle games, so if you're a big fan of the Tomb Raider action elements, of course that's not going to be broadcast here, as this is strictly pretty much a strategic style of puzzle experience, but if you can get into that, I think you will really enjoy Lara Croft Go. With all said, I'm going to be giving the game a 7 out of 10. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.